So a trailer for Daredevil Born Again just dropped randomly, and man am I excited. Daredevil has been my favorite comic character for a while now, and Born Again specifically is one of my favorite stories. To start off, one of the most important aspects about Daredevil Born Again is just the sheer violence and brutality of the story. This is a very dark story, with a lot of grotesquely violent moments and deplorable individuals. And I was honestly really concerned that with this being a Disney Plus show, they weren't going to go the extra mile and do the story the justice it deserves. And from this trailer, it seems like I was wrong. Not only do they imply that the violence is happening, they show you, they let you hear the violence, they let you feel the violence, and it's so gut-wrenching. Specifically, the shot where he snaps the guy's elbow backwards and you see the blood start to seep through was just so gross. And this double compound fracture to this guy's legs is a really cool, gnarly callback to the comics. Now, one part of the story that I am concerned on how they're going to tackle is the idea of repeating certain things from Season 3 of the Netflix Daredevil show. And while Season 3 of Daredevil isn't a one-to-one from comic to TV show, they definitely take a lot of elements from the Born Again comic. With the major point that they're probably going to have to repeat being Matt's mother kind of nursing him back to health and reconnecting him with his faith. And while I know a lot of people probably aren't going to be happy with some sort of repeated scenes, I'm perfectly fine with that as long as we get a proper adaptation. I've also heard a lot of complaints that Bullseye and the Punisher coming back is just straight up fan service, and while I can agree, I don't think this is a bad thing. These are two phenomenal characters, and if they are done justice, they can just add more to the story. Now for Bullseye, I'm getting the vibe that they're going to be doing sort of the same story they did for him in Season 3. A madman donning the identity of Daredevil and kind of ruining his reputation is a major part of Daredevil Born Again. Now, I'm not going to go and summarize the entire story of Daredevil Born Again. For one, spoilers, and two, we might just be here for a while. But generally speaking, the story is going to be about Matthew Murdock being torn apart at the seams by Kingpin. Through a lot of really meticulous manipulation and scheming, Kingpin ruins this dude's life. He strips him of everything he has, he isolates him, and he makes him question who he is as an individual. And this quite literally leads Matt to go insane. He becomes very violent and even ends up killing somebody. He starts talking into phones that aren't working. He becomes increasingly paranoid, thinking his own friends are turning against him. And for a large part of the story, he believes Kingpin is behind all of this, but he's not really sure, and that drives him crazy. Another major aspect of the story that does not get enough credit is there is a lot of political stuff here. There is political scheming everywhere by everyone, and it's really interesting to see how different people interact with certain characters in the political world. But going back to Bullseye, he doesn't really have a role in Daredevil Born Again. There is a different, guns-blazing type antagonist in Daredevil Born Again, and Bullseye's way better. The only character that looks like they're adding into the story that I'm not sure where he's going to fit is the Punisher, but that doesn't mean I'm not excited to see him, because he's another amazing character with an amazing actor, and if they do it justice, it could be really good. Now, one part of Daredevil Born Again that not a lot of people are aware of is the Avengers actually appear towards the end of it. And Captain America specifically actually plays a major role in the story. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to be telling the whole story of Born Again in this one season, but if they are, I guess Falcon kind of needs to show up. And if they don't have him showing up, then I guess they're just going to be cutting out the entire Avenger showing up plotline altogether. I don't know though, that's just really my speculation, but all in all, I am super excited. This really seems to be a return to form for Daredevil, and more than anything, I'm just very happy they are giving the character the justice that he deserves, because he is one of the best characters in Marvel, and not enough people know that. Also, one thing about me is next year when this show drops, I am actually going to be in law school. So I'm going to be watching Daredevil Born Again, my favorite character, who's a lawyer, while in law school. I don't know, I just personally think that that's pretty cool. But anyways, thank you all for watching. I'm excited. Let me know if you're as excited as me, and I'll catch you all tomorrow. Peace.